Okay, so tonight we are going to talk about the incentive trip. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. I keep saying incentive trip. The summer incentive. Yay! Aren't you guys happy to talk about the summer incentive? Hi, Angela. I am so pumped about the summer incentive. And I think the thing that makes me the most pumped about the summer incentive is how attainable it is for the mini. I don't think that I don't think that we have ever had a trip that is so attainable for the majority of consultants. And that excites me because obviously, you know, I want you all to succeed and I want you all to, you know, earn incentives and stuff like that. I mean, it's amazing and rewarding and fulfilling. And so I, you know, just really want you guys, of course, all to have that opportunity. And with this incentive, I firmly believe that we're going to have more people than ever earn the summer incentive. I think this is going to be huge. So I'm super duper duper pumped about it from that standpoint. I really think we're going to have more Sunshine State Superstars group members than ever earn it. So wanted to just make a couple announcements really quick before we get into that. So one is that the Scentsy calendar year just started over again. So that means that you have the opportunity to earn annual awards all over again. Annual sales, annual mentor. Those are going to give you cash bonuses, and that's really exciting. Annual sales right off the bat, that's $1,000. And then annual mentor, it's $25 and $50 bonuses, depending on what your, $25 and $50 bonuses, depending on what title those people are at, if they go to certified or if they go to lead. So that's a super exciting thing I wanted to make sure to let you know about. Is there anything else that I wanted to go over? Oh, yes, reunion registration is still open. So if you have not registered for reunion, you want to be there, guys. It changed my business, which of course changed my life. I don't think there's anybody in our team who's been to reunion who wouldn't tell you the same thing. Like, it's so, so, so important for your business to get there. And I know it's a sacrifice, but I can guarantee that it's a short-term sacrifice for a long-term success. And so often in this business, we get way too caught up on short-term stuff. I was just talking with someone earlier about that same very thing. Like, short-term setbacks, yeah, they can suck. And you can be super, discouraged sometimes. Like, man, I wish this wasn't the case. You know, I hate that this is happening or that's happening. But at the end of the day, it's short-term. And we've always got to be focused on long-term and what, that's going to bring. So super pumped about reunion. And I think those are all the announcements I wanted to make. Yeah, I think. Okay, so let's talk about the Sensational Restart Incentive. So in your workstation, there are some really helpful things that you can print out. You can see I printed out some of them, one being just the news tab article, Sensational Restart Incentive. So if you go into your workstation and just type in even just the word restart, this will come up. The next thing that is super helpful that you'll want to print off in your workstation is the Sensational Restart Incentive Terms and Conditions. That's more like the third one you'll want to print. And then another one is FAQs. So I've circled some things that we're going to go over tonight. So those are the most important documents for this that you're going to want to print to have available to you throughout the course of this awesome summer incentive. So right now, like, if you want to follow along, okay, buddy, relax. Right now, if you want to follow along, I'm going to be going over the Sensational Restart Incentive announcement. Hey, Cindy and Jessica. So this document actually goes over all of the details of how to qualify. So the most important things that I want to highlight at the beginning of this article is that May 1st is the start of the incentive. So this summer incentive has already began. It began May 1st, and it runs through July 9th. It's a total of 70 days. Now, the thing I want you to understand is that as long as you sponsor someone, they are a new recruit, they join in May, June, or July, as long as they get active before the end of July. They don't have to actually be active by July 9th. Scentsy's being super generous, and they're giving you till the end of July. So even if that person gets active on July 28th, July 31st, they count. So they just have to be active in 1 month before the end of July, which we'll go through a little bit more here in a minute. So I just want you to be clear that the incentive begins May 1st and it ends July 9th. However, your PRV, whatever your PRV is July 9th, that's the deadline. However, for the recruit portion of this, they have until the end of July to get active. So I just wanted to clarify that, make sure everybody was clear on how that works. So now let's talk about the different levels. So if you're familiar with Sensational Start for brand new consultants, you know there's a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. With the summer incentive, there is not. With the summer incentive, there is only level 2. Come on, buddy, just relax. With the summer incentive, there is only level 2 or level 3 possibilities. Now, if you are I'm sorry, you have to look at his bloody little rag. I'm sorry. This is seriously just real life, guys. I'm not going to put him down for a while still because I know he's going to go and shake his head. And I think I finally got it to stop bleeding, so I don't want to put him down. Oh, gosh. Dog ownership. Hold on. Is it stopping? Okay, I think it stopped. So you're just going to stay here with me, though. Okay, so anyway, so there's only level 2, level 3 for this incentive. Now, if you're a brand new consultant, of course, you still have your normal Sensational Start program. You have level 1, level 2, and level 3 you can earn. So that's for brand new consultants within their first 70 days. This incentive is for all consultants. Anyone is capable of doing this, but it only has level 2 and level 3 prizes. There is nothing for, like, if you're looking at the Sensational Start system for a new consultant, you're like, hey, there's level 1. Why can't we do level 1? Scentsy is only doing levels 2 and level 3 for the summer incentive. Sorry, I just want to keep checking his ear. I don't want him to bleed all over himself or me. Okay, so let's talk about level 2. Level 2 is the first level of the summer incentive. And here's how you qualify. You sell 3,000 in PRV. Can you believe that? It's been a long time. In fact, I can't even remember the last incentive where you could earn it just from PRV alone. Usually they have something built into our incentives where you can't earn it just based on sales alone. But this one, you can. Who's excited about that? Who's excited about that? You can earn it on sales alone. Okay, so if you sell 3,000 in PRV between May 1st and July 9th, you don't have till the end of July, you have until July 9th. So if you can sell 3,000 in PRV by July 9th, if you can sell 3,000 in PRV from May 1st through July 9th, you will get the level 1 prize. Or you can do a lesser amount of PRV and recruit. So let's talk about that option. So if you sell 3,000 in PRV in the time frame, or sell 1,500 in PRV in the time frame, and sponsor one new PEC, which stands for Personally Enrolled Consultant, who reaches 200 PRV in sales, which we know is active. So what does that mean? So that means that they join in either May, June, or July, and in either May, June, or July, they become active. So it doesn't mean that they can sell $50 in May, $150 in June, and then 50 more bucks in July. That is not active. Active is 200 in PRV in 1 month. So they have to be active in May, June, or July. Active, guys, that's so easy. Oh my gosh, we don't even have to get them certified. Are you hearing this? We don't even have to get these people certified and we're getting points. That's so awesome. Like, I can't believe there's not hearts for that. Like, what the heck? We just got to get them to sell 200. That's so easy. That's so easy. Oh my gosh, they're like handing us this incentive. This is amazing. Okay, so level 2, sell at least 3,000 in PRV during the time frame, or sell 1,500 in PRV during the time frame, and get one new consultant who reaches 200 PRV in sales in 1 month out of those 3 months. And again, they have until the end of July. If you do that, you earn, you also have to complete the first things first checklist on your workstation, which is super easy and can be found on the home screen of your workstation. You will earn $125 in Scentsy event credit. What does that mean? That means that throughout the year when we have a Scentsy event, you can use $125 credit to pay for that registration. Isn't that cool? So let's say that you want to pay for reunion registration. Well, reunion registration we know is usually around $250. So you would just pay that difference. What is that? Not much. $125. Thank you, Cindy. Okay, so you'd only pay the difference. Now let's say that you want to use it to pay for Director Bootcamp. You can do that too and pay the difference, as long as you're eligible to go to Director Bootcamp. You can't, as a star consultant, be like, hey, I want to use my event credit for Director Bootcamp. You wouldn't be eligible to use it for that. Anything you're eligible to use it for. So if you are not a director and you want to use it for leadership retreat, you won't be eligible for that either. It's any event that you're eligible to go to. Now, let's say that you want to use it for world premiere. And world premiere is, last time it was like $35 or something. If you don't use the whole credit, you lose what's left. Scentsy's not going to roll it over for you. So if you just use it for world premiere, you're going to lose the rest of that event credit. And no, it is not possible to get product credit. It's only event attendance credit. So I hope that clarifies all of that stuff. You will also earn, when you earn level 2, the exclusive Sensational Start Award Warmer. I don't know if you saw me post it in here, but it's super cool. It's a huge star, and it's basically like a star a bunch of times around. It's really neat. I don't know how to explain it well, but so let's talk about level 3 now. So level 3 is, again, you have a higher PRV amount or a lesser PRV amount and a sponsoring amount. Okay, so for level 3, you can sell, and if you have a question, please ask. I want to make sure that everybody's super clear on how this works. So for level 3, selling at least 6,000 in PRV. So again, from May 1st through July 9th. July 9th is your deadline for your PRV. So you sell 6,000 in PRV from May 1st through July 9th, and you earn the prize. Or you can sell 3,000 in PRV, so half the amount, and sponsor 2 new PECs, personally enrolled consultants, who reach 200 PRV in sales. So again, they can't sell 50 in May, 150 in June, and then 50 more in July. It's got to be 200 in 1 month, because that's what we consider active. So they've got to be active in May, active in June, or active in July in order for them to count. And of course, as I said before, these new consultants have until the end of July to get active. So they don't have to be active by July 9th. If they're active by July 31st, you're golden. And then of course, no, the PRV will accrue. Yeah, the PRV accrues. So it's 6,000 in PRV or 3,000 in PRV over the course of the 3 months. So you could do 1,000, and then you could do, 2,500, and then you could do 2,500. Yes, it will accrue over the 3 months. Okay, so, and of course, last but not least, is to complete the first things first checklist on your workstation. And that can be found on the home screen of your workstation, and you'll want to go through and complete that. Now, if you earn level 3, I'm not gonna say if, I'm gonna say when. When you earn level 3, you will earn $225 event credit. So that's like $25 less than what reunion registration usually costs. So that's awesome. You would just pay like $25 to go to reunion for your reunion registration. So $225 event credit. Now remember, if you don't use it, you lose it. So if you register for world premiere or something where the registration is a lot less, you will lose that difference. So it's important that you know that right off the bat. And you cannot get product credit. This is event credit, because Scentsy knows the value of you attending events and how that will help your business. And they want to, oh, you're so sweet. And they want to make sure that you are at events because they know it will help you with achieving your goals. All right, so you will also earn the Sensational Start Award Warmer when you earn, when you earn level 3. Okay, so there is more on this document, and that is about the top 20. Who's ready to hear about that? Me, I'm gonna push for it because I know that when you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land among the stars. That's the saying, right? And I firmly believe that. So I'm gonna shoot for top 20. And we're gonna talk about that a little more when I talk about plans here in a second. All right, so the top 20 level 3 earners with the highest number of active PECs, personally enrolled consultants, who joined during the incentive period and were active at least 1 month during the incentive will also earn a voucher to attend Leadership 2018, including registration, lodging, a per diem for food, and an exclusive dinner with Heidi and Orville. How cool is that? Ah, I love it. So you get a voucher to attend Leadership 2018, which covers registration, lodging, and a per diem for food. So you wouldn't really pay anything to go to leadership. So that's sweet. And so that's the top 20 in our region. You can also, like I said, okay, so like I said, this is one of the many documents, well, one of the 3 documents that you're going to want to have on hand during the course of this incentive as you are working on earning this incentive. I know you're sick of me touching your ear. I'm sorry, bud. Everyone, this is Duke. If you don't already know, this is Duke. Duke of Daisy and Duke. Daisy's over there on her bed. Okay, so let's talk about some other things that are important for you to know. This is coming from the FAQ. So a couple things that I really want you to know that I found on the FAQ. If a consultant rolls up to me and then becomes active, will it count towards the incentive? The answer is yes. So let's say that you sponsored someone and her name is Becky. And Becky, during the course of this incentive trip, sponsors someone. Let's call her Jessica. And let's say that Becky cancels in July. And in July, oh, no, let's say that Becky cancels in June. And her new consultant, Jessica, would then roll up to you. So let's say that Jessica gets active for the first time in July. You would get points for that. So I'm going to read you how Scentsy's worded it. So that's just kind of, there's Daisy. So that's just my kind of wording. But here's what Scentsy says. If a consultant rolls up to me and then becomes active, will it count towards the incentive? Scentsy said, yes. If a consultant who enrolled during the incentive period, May 1st through July 9th, rolls up to you and becomes active while in your front line by 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, July 31st, 2017, they will count towards the incentive. Recruits who become active under a previous sponsor and then roll up to you will not count towards the incentive. So if this does happen to you, if they've gone active before they've rolled up to you, you will not get the points. Another thing that I wanted to point out from the FAQ, if a consultant is reinstated or restored as a Scentsy consultant and then becomes active, will it count towards the incentive? So let me read that question one more time. If a consultant is reinstated or restored as a Scentsy consultant and then becomes active, will it count towards the incentive? The answer is no. If a consultant is reinstated or restored and then becomes active, it will not count toward the incentive. The consultant must be new to Scentsy during the qualification period of May 1st and July 9th. So I wanted you guys to hear those things. And then there's a couple more things on the FAQ that I want to point out. They said, the question was, when will I find out if I earned the Sensational Restart incentive? Because there's not going to be a tracker. We're going to be responsible for tracking this ourselves. They said, you will be notified via email from our awards and recognition team by August 31st, 2017. Another question that I thought was cool is, will achievers also get the Sensational Start lapel pen and certificate? And yes, you will. Yes, level 2 and level 3 achievers will receive the lapel pen and certificates. So that's pretty cool. I'm really excited about this because I earned Sensational Start level 1. So I love the opportunity to do it over again because duh, I'm going to earn 3 this time. Totally. When will the Sensational Start warmers be shipped to those who earned them? Fall of 2017. If there are earners, this is a thing that I put a star by because this is really important. If there are earners in the top 20 who cannot, no, this wasn't the one, it's the next thing, but this is important too. If there are earners in the top 20 who cannot attend leadership, will those next in line be invited to take their place? Yes. If a top 20 earner indicates they will not be able to attend leadership, we will invite number 21 on the list, and then 22, 23, 24, etc., and so on. So that's cool to know. But I think the most important thing on this whole FAQ is this piece of information right here. So listen really closely because this is important. What if there is a tie in the top 20 earners, which I honestly don't see how there won't be a tie. I don't know how there couldn't possibly be a tie. Honestly, I think there's going to be a lot of ties. I don't know how there couldn't be. So I don't know. But this says, what if there was a tie? What if there is a tie in the top 20 earners? In the event of a tie, the cumulative PRV of the consultant's active recruits from the incentive will determine the winner. Do you hear that? Yes. What does that mean? That means that it is critical that we push these people that we sponsor to not just get active, but to go all the way to certified. Because if you sponsor, say, 6 people, right, and they all get active, what if you tie for position number 8 or position number 20 or whatever? Your cumulative points will be higher than someone who just settled on letting their PECs get active. So this sentence right here is very, very critical, because I do anticipate that there are going to be some serious ties. That's just my opinion. Obviously, I don't know, but I don't know how there couldn't be. Okay, so next what I wanted, those were just the key points that I really wanted to cover with you guys. So what do you think so far? Are you excited? Are you hopeful? What I want you guys to understand about this is, in 100% all truth, honesty, I have never seen a summer incentive that is so easy to earn, ever. You can earn it on sales alone. You can sell, what is it, $1,500 in 3 months. What is that? Is that right? I'm sorry, 3,000. 3,000 or 1,500 is the lowest. You can sell $3,000 or only $1,500 and sponsor one person who gets active over the course of a whole 3 months and earn a prize. Like, that's pretty freaking incredible. I think we're going to see more people earn this than ever before. There is literally no reason why every single person on our team can't earn this. This is so attainable. It's crazy. Okay, so I hope that you're watching this and you're like, all right, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Even if you don't care about the event credit, which hopefully you do because you want to come to Scentsy events. Most people say they can't come to the events because of the money. So if you can't come because of the money, well, here you go. Here's a big chunk of your cost that you can have covered. So, you know, it's a big deal. All right, so next I want to talk to you guys about creating a plan. Yes, absolutely, Jose. I totally agree. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the plans. So I spent some time working on some plans. Now, it's super, super simple. Now, right now, what I'm going to talk about is creating a plan. We've laid out the rules. We've laid out the, the FAQs, the whole lineup of how it's going to go down, what the incentive details are. Now we're going to talk about creating a plan. It's so important that you have a plan. Winging it just doesn't work. There are some people that, yeah, they can wing it and they make it work. But for the majority, you need a plan. You need something that you've posted somewhere where you're going to see it every single day. Think about the event that you want to go to and, post that up there on somewhere where you're going to see it every day. You've got to be reminded of your goals every single day. Otherwise, they're just going to fade into the mist and you're just going to forget all about them. So I really want to encourage you to set your goal and go for it, and really set your goal high. I'm going to be, I don't want to say disappointed because that sounds mean, but I'm going to be super bummed if I hear that somebody's shooting for level 2. What the heck is the point? Why would you shoot for level 2? Why would you settle? Why would you not shoot for the higher? Because what if you aim for level 2 and then you fall a little short? Guess what you're going to earn? A big goose egg. Nothing. If you aim for level 3 and you miss, guess what you're going to earn? Level 2. So don't aim for 2. Just don't. Don't get it in your crosshairs. Put level 3 in your crosshairs. We in the Sunshine State Superstars, we have all the tools we need to succeed. We have all the tools we need. All the tools we need to get these people joined, get these people started, get them off to a great success. We have all the tools we need to sell and do parties and do well at this business. It's just up to you to incorporate it. So you've got everything at your disposal to be successful and to do this. The only thing that's going to stop you is your own stinking thinking. So say to yourself today, I am going to do this and I am not going to allow myself to make excuses and stop myself. All right, so let's talk about level 2. I shouldn't have even made plans for level 2. but I did. All right. So for level 2, let's say that you want to take the PRV path. You don't want to worry about the sponsoring. Sponsoring's not part of your game plan, which I totally don't understand why it wouldn't be. I mean, do you not want to have a buddy? Do you not want to have a friend? Do you not want to have someone to celebrate their accomplishments with? I don't know why you wouldn't. But yeah, Teresa, that's the spirit. I love it. So let's say that you don't want to do that sponsoring though. And so you're going to shoot for the PRV path. All right. So what I found to be so interesting is if you took the 3,000 PRV and you divided it by 90 days, that's only 43 in PRV each day. So you could even set a goal of saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to focus on every day. I'm going to sell $43 in PRV. At the end of the 70 days, you got it. That's it. So you could set a goal like that of a daily PRV amount that you're going to focus on selling. So if you sold 2 6-packs every day, you'd have it. If you sold 1 Laundry Love bundle, if you sold 2 Scentsy buddies, like it's that easy. So break your goal down into small bite-sized pieces, and then it's not going to feel so overwhelming. Okay, so if you want to go the PRV path, that's one way you can think about it, breaking it up and what the PRV is each day. Another way you can break it down is dividing that up by qualified parties. So what I did was I took the qualified party level, which is only 200 in PRV. Now we know that a lot of parties end up being way more. For example, my home party last Sunday was like 868 in PRV. So obviously we have parties that end up being way more than 200, but for the sake of creating a plan, it's always smart to lowball. So that way you're more likely to overshoot than underperform. So here's what I did and what I would encourage you to do as well. I took 3,000 PRV and I divided it by 200. The average, or I'm sorry, not the average, but the qualified party amount. So I took 3,000, divided it by 200, and that gave me 15. So that means over the course of the 70 days or 10 weeks that we have for this incentive, we would need 15 parties that were $200 each. Now, of course, you're going to have some that are way more, and then you're going to have some that meet that 200 right on the nose, and then you're going to have some that are a little more. So this is a way to really safely make a goal. So if you took those 15 qualified parties, so 15 parties that are 200 each, and you divided that by the 10 weeks that we have to earn this incentive, because that's what it is, 70 days is 10 weeks, that's only 1.5 parties a week. So are you telling me that you can't do 1 Facebook party each week, or the next week have a Facebook in a basket, and then the next week have a home? So if you set your sights on having 1 or 2 parties every single week over the next 10 weeks, I know you're going to earn the PRV that you need for level 1. It's that easy. Doesn't that sound really good? And that, like I said, is taking the bare bones minimum 200 PRV as your parties. Like I said, you're going to have some that are 400. You're going to have some that are 500. So this plan is super duper duper safe because you are guessing low. If you want to go a little higher and you want to say, okay, let's say 300 PRV, you could do the math for that. So again, you would take 3,000 divided by 300, which would obviously give you 10 parties, but divided by 10 weeks. So that would be 1 party a week. So that's kind of how I did that math. So use that to create your plan of what you feel like is, realistic for you. I just wanted to do 200 PRV because that's really lowballing it, which makes a more safe plan. All right, so let's say that you want to earn level 2, but you want to go the PRV and sponsoring route. So for level 2, for PRV and sponsoring, we know we need 1,500 in PRV and 1 active PEC. So you don't want to just sponsor 1 person, obviously. What if that person signs up and does nothing? What if that person is a kidnapper? What if that person literally just gets their kit and sells nothing else? Then you are SOL, right? So you want to sponsor dose. You want to sponsor 2 people. Have your mind focused on 2 people. I know, listen to me really quick here. I know without any doubt whatsoever in my mind, I would be willing to put $500 on this table right now and say, I guarantee that you know 2 people who need income. There is no way in Hades that you don't know 2 people who need extra income. There's just no way. The majority of people in the world need extra income. So I know you know somebody who needs this. Okay, so sponsor 2. Over 70 days, over 10 weeks, sponsor 2 people. I have done everything in my power to make your training of your new team members a snap. And so has Scentsy. So let's talk about that for a second. These people that you sponsor, you need to point them in the right direction of the tools to help them succeed. Meaning, the Sensational Start program. Do you know what that is? It is an email system that Scentsy sends out. It's like once, like 2-3 days in, and then another one like 5-6 days in. It's a system of emails, like a drip campaign of emails that new consultants are getting from Scentsy with videos and suggestions and instructions to launch their business. So you have that from Scentsy. You don't have to do a dang thing. Then, I don't know if you saw, but we have a whole playlist on YouTube for new consultants. It's called New Consultant Playlist. All you got to do is go to our YouTube channel, Katie Cardoza Farner, click where it says Playlists at the top, and then look for the one that says New Consultant Training. And then you click on that, and then there's a little button at the top that'll say Share. And you copy and paste that, and you send that to your new consultant, just like that. And that is a bunch of videos designed just for them as new consultants. Use those as part of your training process. And I even took it a step further to make your job even easier as you're coaching a new team member. And I have created a step-by-step mentor guide. I want to reach it, but I don't want to move him. I just uploaded it yesterday to our team Facebook page right here. It is called Consultant Information Sheet 5-3-17. 5-3-17. That is a information sheet. So at the top, it has a place for you to put all of their information. And then at the bottom is a step-by-step checklist. Okay, now go over this with them. Now go over this with them. Now go over this with them and send them this video to watch. Now send them this video to watch and then discuss it. It's literally step by step by step with video links that you can send them. So you don't have to spend 3 hours on the phone with them. You send them the videos, and then you guys can even discuss it via text or via private message or via a quick phone call. I have done everything I can, and so has Scentsy, to make the training of your new team members successful and simple. So don't waste these resources, guys. Get your 2 new people, because I know dang well, and Brittany and Angela are going to talk about this in 2 Thursdays. So not this coming Thursday, but the next. They're going to talk with you about sponsoring and selling skills that are going to help you earn this. And so I know they're going to go over this, but you know people who need this. You know people who need extra income. And this is your job to offer it to them. It's their job to decide. You can never switch those roles. You're always going to offer. They're always going to decide. That's just the way it works. Okay, so next let's talk about the PRV portion of it. So again, we're still on level 2. We're talking about the PRV and sponsoring path, which is 1,500 in PRV and 1 active PEC. So we just talked about how you want to sponsor 2. That should be your goal. And now let's talk about the selling. So again, I did the same thing. I took 1,500 in PRV. I divided it by 200, which is our minimum party level. And that gave me 7.5 parties. So over the 10 weeks of this incentive, you only have to do 7.5 $200 parties. So again, if some of your parties are 400, 500, 800, of course, you're going to surpass this goal, and get yourself closer to level 3. So this is a bare minimum for your goal. So that way, when you're achieving more, you're going to do even better. So again, that's 7.5 parties at 200 PRV divided by 10 weeks. That's less than 1 party a week. I know you can do that, y'all. That's basket parties, house parties, Facebook parties, fundraisers maybe you get going on, events, all of that stuff counts. So I know that you can have a basket party, a Facebook party, a home party, or an event or a fundraiser once a week through the course of the summer. I know you can do that. Okay, so let's talk about level 3 now. So the PRV path for level 1 PRV, I'm sorry, level 3. Level 3, the PRV path, it's 6,000 in PRV. I know that sounds like a lot. I get it. 6,000 is a big number. But I will tell you, it's as simple as 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. 30% commission, 30% commission, 30% commission. You're going to love that 30% commission, and you are never going to want to give it up again because it's so sweet. All right, so for 6,000 in PRV, you would need 30 parties during the course of this 10 weeks that reach just that bare minimum of 200. Now, of course, you're going to have more that are more than 200 in PRV. We're just lowballing to make you do even better. So if you want to change the math, just take 6,000 and divide it by whatever party, PRV amount you want. So if you want to divide it by 400, 300, 500, do whatever you want. But just know that you're going to have parties that don't meet that goal. If you set it for 300, 400, 500, you're going to have some parties that fall short. So your plan is going to be based on something where you might fall short. Whereas with this plan, you're going to overachieve. And it's always better to set your plan low and then you overachieve. The PRV ends July 9th. Right. Yes, the PRV ends July 9th. Okay, so let's talk about the 30. So 6,000 PRV, if you divide it by 200, would be 30 qualified parties. 70 days is 10 weeks. So over 10 weeks, that would be 3 parties a week, because we are obviously talking about 70 days. If you divide 70 by 7, that's 10. So you have 10 weeks to sell 6,000 in PRV. So that would be 3 parties a week. You could easily do 3 Facebook parties in a week. You could easily have 1 basket party and 2 Facebook parties. You could easily have 2 home parties and 1 Facebook party in a week. This is so doable, y'all. So doable. I just collected a basket party today. I just delivered an order today. And you know what I did? I booked an event for June. I booked an event for June because when I delivered an order, the lady was like, oh my gosh, did I tell you about the such and such event when I met you at the other event? No, you didn't. Oh, great. Here, let me print out the application for you. So I booked an event today while I was delivering an order for June. And then I also collected a basket party today. That was, the hostess was so afraid she wasn't going to be able to do anything with it. I gave her my first clear handbag party, and she had over $350 in PRV. And so my point is, like, it's so easy to do this stuff. You just got to ask. You just got to put yourself out there. All right, so let's talk about level 3, sponsoring and PRV path. So for this path, you can do half the amount of PRV, so 3,000, and you get 2 active PECs, personally enrolled consultants. This is so doable. Oh my God, this is crazy doable. 3,000 in PRV and 2 active PECs. Okay, so as I told you before, we gotta aim for more with the sponsoring. So don't just say, okay, I'm going to sponsor 2 people. No problem. No, you need to focus on sponsoring 3 or 4, because some of them might just join and do nothing. There are plenty of people who join and do nothing and cancel having done nothing. It happens plenty of times. So I don't want you to just, awesome, Michelle, I love it. Yes, we got your back. You can do this, girl. So don't just sponsor 2 and then have to have all your eggs in the basket of those 2. Sponsor 3 or 4. That needs to be your goal, 3 or 4. So sponsor 3 or 4, and again, use the resources that you have. You have the Sensational Start program from Scentsy. Make sure that your new team members are using that training program. Make sure that you're using the, what did I call it? Consultant coaching sheet, or what, I forget what I called it. What did I call it earlier? That's how I have it titled. All I can remember is 5.3.17 now. Consultant information sheet. There we go. The consultant information sheet that I uploaded yesterday. So you can literally just go to the search bar here on our team page and type in consultant information sheet, or you can go to the files section and you'll find it there. But use that. It's got step-by-step instructions, including videos that you can use as part of your training process to get that new consultant off to a great start. So sponsor 3 or 4 people and use all of these methods to coach them and make sure that their launch of their business is successful. And then, of course, let's talk about the sponsoring piece. 3,000 PRV plus 2 active PECs. So 3,000 in PRV, if you divide that by 200, again, lowballing, so we can aim, so our goal can be based on a low amount of PRV, and then we'll overachieve. So if you take the 3,000 in PRV that you need to earn the sponsoring and PRV path of level 3, then you would get 15 parties at 200 apiece, 200 PRV apiece. Divide that by the 10 weeks of the program, and you will need 1.5 parties per week. There you go. So those are the plans that I put together to kind of give you an idea of how you can earn level 2 and level 3. So I want to know, comment below. How are you feeling? Are you feeling like this is a little more doable? Are you feeling like, okay, I'm going to write this down. I got my plan. Oh, I love it. Easy. Teresa, that's great. Next, we're going to talk about top 20. And don't let me freak you out when I talk about top 20. We got to make sure that we are going to overachieve. Yay, Michelle, I'm glad you're excited. Sorry, I keep messing with my eyes. My contacts are like, we're done for the day. Usually by now, 10 o'clock at night, I've got my glasses on. Yay, Jose. Now we're going to talk about the part you want to hear about, Jose, which is top 20. Okay, so let's talk about top 20, and then we'll wrap things up because it's almost 10. All right, so as I said before, because of this fact right here, what if there is a tie in the top 20 earners? In the event of a tie, the cumulative PRV of the consultant's active recruits from the incentive will determine the winner. I can't imagine that there won't be some ties. So I want to know that I did everything in my power, that if there was a tie, I would come out on top. And I want you to be able to feel the same way. So one of the keys here is going to be not settling at just active. If you end up in a tie situation, if you're tied for 20 or 19 or 18, you want to know that you're going to come out on top because cumulatively, your PECs, personally enrolled consultants, are going to have more PRV together because you didn't just settle for active and move on to the next one. You continued working with them. You continued coaching them, helping them book their parties to get them certified and beyond. I mean, imagine if you sponsor 10 people and all of them had 1,000 in PRV at minimum. That's 10,000 in PRV cumulatively. So that's going to make a big difference if there are some ties at the end. So I want to know I did everything in my power, and that means getting them way beyond active, doing my best to get them way beyond active. Obviously, at the end of the day, we're not in control because if I was in control, all of my frontline would be certified, but they're not, right? I can't control what other people do. All I can do is try to work with them, and then the choice is theirs at the end of the day. So I think that's a big piece of wanting to be in the top 20 is making sure that you push beyond just active. Another key thing here for the top 20 is remember, you can have less PRV, and the more PECs. So be willing to give up your PRV. Be willing to flip those hostesses. If you have never offered hostess flipping to your hostesses in the past, you got to get over that right now. And you got to do it this summer. Because if someone is hosting a party with you, a basket party, a Facebook party, a home party, I am here to tell you they have considered joining your team. The lady that I picked I picked up 2 basket parties today. One that was a failure. She got 2 orders totaling like 40 in PRV, and then another that was like 350 in PRV. So of course I'm going to add the 2 to the other and, you know, just drop them off to her at the hair salon. But anyway, the one that had the party that was a failure, you know what she said to me? She said, you know, I was actually considering selling Scentsy, but after this, I realized I don't have the sales gene. What is the first thing I take away from that? The very first thing I take away from that is, see, everyone who hosts a party with you has considered selling Scentsy. Even if it's just for a split second, they've considered it. Because they're obviously social. They're willing to have a party of some sort. They obviously love the product because they want to get it at a discount. That's why they're doing a party. So if they're hosting a party with you, they've considered it. It is your job as a consultant to selflessly offer that party to them so they can decide, can't believe you said failure. What? Her party was a failure. It was only 40 in PRV. We didn't reach hostess minimum. But anyway, so I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? Anyway, you've got to offer the flip to every single person, because at the end of the day, they've considered it. You need to offer it. Give up your PRV to help another. It will always come back to reward you. And at the end of the day, if that person decides that they didn't want to be a consultant anymore and they want to give up and they want to quit, because that's the truth, someone decides to quit. It doesn't just happen to you. You don't just accidentally get canceled. You choose at some point to quit. You choose at some point to stop acting. You choose at some point to not take action. That is the day you quit, right? So either she's going to work it or she's going to decide to quit and give up. And if she does, guess what? She's still going to be your customer. She's still going to be your hostess. Maybe even more so in love with the product now, because she's met the company and she's fallen in love with the company. So anyway, my point is, offer the flip to every single person. I don't care how successful you think she is at her career. I don't care if you really were hoping to, have the higher PRV amount or whatever. You don't have to have the 6,000 PRV to earn level 3. You can have 3,000 PRV and 2 new PECs. So give up the PRV in order to get the recruits, because that's the harder piece of it. So offer the opportunity to every single host, every time. And if it's a Facebook party, like an online party, make sure that she understands, hey, if you are even a little bit curious about this and considering it even a little bit, I need to know, because we don't want people placing orders on my website. Because once someone's placed orders on your website, there's no moving them over. So the last thing you'd want to happen is for someone to do a Facebook party with you, and then you get a bunch of online orders on your website, and then she decides, oh, wait, I want to join. You can't move those orders. So tell her, if she's hosting an online party with you, hey, I just want you to know, if you're considering this at all, we shouldn't have anyone place orders on my website. We should have them fill out like an electronic order form request kind of thing, which you can make with a Google form. And if you don't know how to do that, go to YouTube and search Kim Pulito order form request or something like that, and you'll find her video on it. Okay, so the third and final thing I want to say about earning top 20 is what my personal goal is going to be. Because I know those of you who are wanting to earn top 20, you're like me, sitting there wondering, how many do I need to try to recruit? There's no way to know. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no way to know, because we don't have, here's what you need for this, and it's just like the top 100 with Greece and South Africa. Like, I just had to give it my all and give it my best and try to do everything I could. And fortunately, that was enough to earn the only top 100 trips we've done. I was able to earn both. And so I felt like with that, it was a little bit easier to set a goal than with this. For some reason, like with this, there's just something different about it that I feel like it's hard to set a goal because there's no points per se. But what I'm choosing to do is set a goal of 15 to 20 new recruits. And I know that might sound like a lot. And I'm just going to be honest with you and when I say this, you have to take into consideration that there are the online sellers. When I say online sellers, I mean the people who have a lot of education regarding ads and AdWords and stuff I don't even know how to explain. They basically pay for online marketing, and they're very smart and educated in that, and they know exactly how to do that online marketing. And these people will sponsor that easily in 1 month, but there aren't 20 people that do that. There's a handful. So you have to take those into consideration, right? There's those people. And then there's just the bosses, right? Then there's just the people that recruit, right? So I feel like if I set a goal of like 15, maybe 20 new recruits, how many of those are going to get active? Let's say if I get 15, maybe 10 will get active, I would guess. So 10, when the minimum was 2, I feel like that's pretty good. So that's kind of where I'm setting myself up. And I know you might be hearing that and thinking, well, forget it. I'm not going to shoot for 20. I'm not going to shoot for top 20. Then I can't recruit 10, 15 people. I'm just going to be super real with you because that's just how I am. Are you telling me right now that you don't know 10 people that are struggling financially? I'm sure you do. I do. You have to offer it to them. You just have to. That is how you're going to, A, help other people, because if you know someone who's struggling financially, but yet, I always say but yet, it's so redundant. I hate that I say that. You ever just catch yourself saying something and you're like, oh, why do I use that word or whatever? I always say but yet. I hate that. But, or yet, so let's say that what I want to challenge you to do is to watch the next training, which is going to be done by Angela and Brittany. And they are going to go over sales and sponsoring skills that are going to help you with earning this stuff. Right now, we're just creating a plan of action. So your first challenge is to create your plan. Whether you use my exact plans or whatever, I'm fine with whatever you want to do. You can use my exact plans. You can create your own, whatever. Your first homework assignment is to create your plan of action and create it ASAP because the clock is already ticking. It's already happening. So create your plan of action. The next thing I want you to do is either pull out that list of 100 and dust it off, or if you don't even have one, that's okay. Don't be afraid to admit that you don't have one. If you don't have one, I want you to sit down and create it ASAP. The plan, list of 100, need to be boom, boom, done right away. Why a list of 100? Because you're going to go through that list and you are going to look at every single name on that list. And you're going to ask yourself, who needs extra income? Who just loves Scentsy and might have fun selling it? Who is somebody that might want this for like an emotional reason? Like meaning they feel kind of stuck at home. Like they're a stay-at-home mom and they've got young kids and they just kind of feel like all they do is change diapers all day and they just kind of want something that's them, for them, and a reason to get out of the house. Maybe they need somebody, maybe you see someone on there who would really want to supplement their spouse's income. And then all you got to do is just offer it. And I'm telling you, and they're going to reiterate this next time on the next Live Thursday. If you message them and you say, oh my gosh, girl, we have this summer incentive and I'm so excited about it. I have to sponsor 2 people and I'm wondering if you'll want to join my team. That is icky and that is super selfish. And you are not going to sponsor people that way, period. You're not going to do it. So don't even try. Don't even waste your fingers typing. Don't even do it because they're not going to want to join your team. And if they do, then they're just going to feel icky about it. And they're going to feel like you kind of strong-armed them to join. And that's not what you want. Because if you have a team full of people you had to strong-arm to join, you're going to have to strong-arm them to sell. And you certainly don't want that. You don't want a team full of people that you have to try to drag to do something. You want people who want to be here. You want people who say, you know what? Yeah, I do need to supplement my spouse's income. Or yeah, I do need something that's mine to get out of the house and get away and just be an adult and, put on makeup and, not have vomit on my shirt. If you make it personal to that person, they're going to be much more likely to say yes. And you could really enhance their life, guys. Think about it from their perspective and think about how this can help them. So get out your list of 100 and start analyzing those names and looking for, okay, this person, I just think they could want a reason to get out of the house. And this person, I just think that they would want to supplement their spouse's income because I've heard them complain about money. And, as you're scrolling through your news feed and stuff on Facebook, as you're at parties, listen to the things people are saying and keep your opportunity goggles on. Always be looking for opportunity. Always be looking for people who need this income because you're not going to have to look long. If you don't have your goggles on and you're not paying attention, you are missing opportunities every single day to share this business opportunity. Not lying to you. I'm serious. You really, really are. So I know you might think, oh, that many recruits sounds super duper hard. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to just fall into your lap. But I guarantee you know that many people who need income. So let's offer it to them. Let's do it. Let's get started. And so, and you know, Angela and Brittany are going to talk more about this next week, but like, just to give you an example, like, let's say that, you know, you see somebody in your newsfeed and they're complaining about their washing machine broke. You know, I personally would, you know, send them a message and say, hey girl, I saw on Facebook about your washing machine breaking. I'm so sorry. That totally sucks. Our AC went out the month after we bought this house and we had to replace the whole AC system. I would have never been able to fork out that $4,000 had it not been for my Scentsy business. And, you know, it's created a cushion for us, you know, so when things do go wrong, we've got that. You know, without Scentsy, that wouldn't have been the case. We would have had to finance that whole thing. And so I'd say, you know, hey, when things, you know, have calmed down, and I'd be happy to send you some information if you'd like some information about how you could start building, you know, some extra income for these kinds of incidents, you know, incidentals or whatever. That would be an example. See, you want to tell them, you know, you're sorry to hear about what they're going through, and you want to relate to them in whatever genuine way you can. So let's say that your friend, you know, you want to talk to her about getting out of the house. You know, I'd send her a message and I'd say, you know, hey, Felicia, you know, I was thinking about you the other day and I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. How's everything going? How are the kids? You know, initiate a conversation and then see what she says back. And she might say something that even gives you the opportunity to bring it up. She might say, you know, oh my gosh, I'm just so exhausted. These kids, blah, 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 whatever. That doesn't mean, oh, you know what? She said she's exhausted. No, I'm afraid I'm not going to offer the business opportunity because she's too busy. She's tired. That's not what that means. So don't make yourself stop that. But I would say, you know, oh yeah, you know, I totally get that. Relate to her from your own perspective. Many of you have kids. And so you can speak from your own experience about how Scentsy is kind of giving you something else, you know, something that's your own. And, you know, just something you can be, not that you can't be proud of your kids, but, you know, something besides your family life that you can, you know, be proud of and say, you know, hey, look at this check for $500 this month. You know, I did that. I brought that into the house and I was still able to be home with my kids and still be able to be part of their lives. And, you know, just speak from the heart about that. And no, it doesn't have to be a $500 check. It can be whatever it is. You know, it can be just the peace of mind and the happiness that it's bringing you. So relate to them and offer it to them, and offer it to them in a specific way that makes it about them. Do not make it about you. And I promise you, you're going to get those recruits that you want. If you're shooting for level 2, level 3, you know, you only need 3, 2, and you're going to have it and it'll be awesome. So I hope that tonight's training was helpful. I hope that it was able to give you ideas to create your plan, help you understand the breakdown of the incentive itself and how it's going to be working and stuff. So anyway, I'm super excited about this incentive trip. I'm so passionate about seeing you guys earn this and, you know, earn these event credits and all this stuff and warmer. And I know we're going to see more superstars earn this incentive than ever before because it's so attainable. So just want to encourage you guys to shoot for the moon. Don't aim for level 2, really aim for level 3, because then even if you miss level 3, you're going to end up with level 2. And if you shoot for level 2 and you miss, you're going to end up with nothing. And that's the last thing I would want to happen for you. So come back for the next live Thursday, which is going to be, let me see the date, the 18th. Thursday the 18th, and Brittany and Angela are going to do a training on selling and sponsoring skills that are going to help you achieve your plan. If you live locally, on the 18th, that's also when we have our Party with a Purpose training here in Claremont. So if you're going to be coming to that, obviously you're going to miss the live Thursday, but of course it will be able for you to be rewatched. We'll make sure that we get it on the YouTube channel, so you don't have to worry about that. But of course, at Party with a Purpose, you're going to get some sales and sponsoring training. So don't worry, we'll make sure that you are covered. So thank you for hanging out with me tonight for Live Thursday, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, and let's go earn that trip, superstars. Good night, guys.